scholars. This video continues to talk about textual coding with a focus on coding for genres, discourse communities, and coding multimodal. I'll also show some coding processes and examples. Coding for genres. You can code for the genre or the subgenre if there are several types. So what type of text is it? Use this if studying more than one genre or subgenre. What are some common conventions? So identify features commonly associated with the genre. What are expected types of evidence or use of hashtags in this genre? Identify organization features of the text, such as introduction strategies. What common themes or ideas are explored in the text? This could overlap with some of your rhetorical analysis. Style, identify common tones, diction, imagery, or figurative language used in the genre. Or context, identify social, cultural, or historical contexts, such as time, period, date, location, or intended audience. Coding for discourses and discourse communities. What group or community is the text written for? Code if there's more than one. Discourse practice, identify specific strategies for communicating, for example, the use of jargon, rhetorical devices, or framing. Discuss how power is negotiated, exercised, or challenged through language. Identity, how are identities constructed or negotiated through language. Identify expectations for language use, such as rules for language use, politeness norms, or conversational conventions. And describe how texts within the discourse community relate to or reference each other, such as through citation, allusions, or intertextual linkage. Coding for multimedia, images, humans, videos. So coding images, what subject is literally shown in the picture? What are some select features of the subject shown repeatedly? For example, you might gather any of the following data about humans shown: facial expressions, posture, hairstyle, clothing style, age range, gender, race, makeup style. You could code for the setting, the location, the background. Code for the style, photograph, art style, filter use, camera angle, lighting. Code for colors, all colors, dominant colors, or color palettes, for example, neutrals, jewel tones. And code the captions, just code those as texts. When gathering data about images of humans, such as race, gender, or age, recognize that you're making assumptions about the person based on very little information. Usually, it is best to acknowledge this as a limitation within your methodology and during analysis. If you use screenshots of humans as examples in your final project, you may use images that have been shared publicly by the person pictured or shared with their permission. If you're unsure, just blur out or otherwise obscure the image to protect their privacy. Because children are such a vulnerable population, please always obscure their images. Coding videos. Consider many of the same features as text and images, but also how these change or progress over time. Consider units of measurements, for example, scenes, instances, minutes, or the whole video. Some additional features to code for might include actions, sequence of events, gestures, tone of voice, use of background music or sound effects, camera angles. Here's some camera angles you could look at. So coding processes and examples. So the process includes gathering information about how the text does what it does. So first, we're going to gather the texts, can be applied to any exhibit text, print out screenshots, take notes for audiovisual, identify units of analysis. For example, will you count individual words or sentences, or will you count full posts and comments? Create your codes. These should be some features or characteristics within the text based on your research question and chosen theoretical framework. Create a code key, assigning a unique code, letter, symbol, color to each textual feature. Apply the code to the text. Write code directly on applicable texts. You might create a code sheet afterwards, list all the codes either in order or by type, and analyze the code sheet. Count, divide, compare, look for patterns, etc. So here's an example using Bush's 9/11 speech, where we've used letters inserted into the speech to code the previous phrases. So first we have ethos broken down into values and then religion. Pathos, sympathy. Pathos, sympathy. Pathos, fear. This one we've broken down into two: ethos, values, religion, Christianity. Ethos, authority, citing sources, citing scripture. So that could be double coded. And so we just go through and we use our codes and we insert them directly after each unit or phrase that we want to count. In this one, we had a simpler coding categories, and so we could use colors. So everything that is in blue is about government preparedness or continuity. Everything in red is military might. Everything in pink is human safety. And everything in green is economic security. So we could go through and we could count how many words or just how many instances each topic is talked about. Here's an example code key for pathos. You could have word choice positive, hope, word choice positive, desire, word choice negative, fear, word choice negative, jealousy. And then after you applied the code to the text, you might get some kind of pattern like this, which you might be able to say, after every negative fear, there's a positive. Could be a pattern that you notice. Or we could count the number of instances and divide it by the number of words. So if 13 out of 100 words are negative, that's 13%. Here's an example from an analysis of cigarette advertising, looking at their most common themes. You wouldn't need to do all of this fancy math in your results section, but I thought I'd show you what a professional model might look like. Okay, that's it for coding rhetorical strategies. Sometimes students need help with this, so definitely consider seeing me in office hours for more help with coding. Bye, good luck.